right, I guess we're doing this. Welcome to Still Against All Odds, brought to you by Ronald, my Uber driver that just got me home from LAX in under 45 minutes. 5 stars. Good job by you, pal. Alongside producer Mikey Meatballs, I'm joined by the degenerate trifecta, Harry, Parlay Kid, and Brother Bry. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, Joel?
Hey, Joel.
What's going on, buddy?
My gosh, what a weekend. I am running on fumes. I just got back from LA to LA from Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about NFL Week 9. Sam Darnold putting the rest of the league on notice. Someone has HOR in our horse
Mm.
competition. I don't know who that could be. I think they know who it is. But first, I think we have to wrap up this 2025 World Series. The Dodgers go back to back. The parade is still happening. I think that parade's going to go for a month. What an unbelievable World Series. Just uh, incredible from game one till the end. And I just posed the question to you. What moment stands out to you guys besides Sidney Sweeney eating a hot dog? You had that too. You had walk-off hits, extra innings, performances like we'll never see. But Brother Bry, with a World Series with so many moments, kind of what stands out?
It's a good question. I think obviously the 18 inning game was memorable. Game 7, I think just the fact usually you talk about a bullpen game, right? The fact that it was like a starter game, right? And they just kept putting in their starters, the Dodgers, one after the other. And the fact that Yamamoto came back, went, what did he go? Close to 3 innings after just pitching the day before was really insane. So I think it was a big night for baseball, and yeah, excited that I thought a couple years ago baseball was there was a point I was like, baseball is never coming back to where it was, and I think with some of the stars and the Jap international players like the Japanese players, it's definitely kind of gaining some momentum again.
Yeah, it became must-watch TV. It's one of those World Series where I live in LA, but I actually did kind of thought I would root for the Blue Jays, but it was one of those series where until you were actually watching it live on TV and your emotions took over, I found myself actually pulling for the Dodgers. Harry, you were one of those people that had the Dodgers from the beginning, and I think it got nervous for a lot of Dodger fans there, and definitely Dodger bettors. I mean, Vegas probably took a bath on this one, knowing how much LA money they had going. But what was like the pivotal moment for you?
No, I agree with Brian. The 18 inning game was fantastic because past history, you say 18 innings, it's a lot of boring innings in that, in where that could play out like that. But even though no one scored till the end, it was dramatic the whole way. It was fantastic. The collision in left field. If the Dodgers don't make that catch, the game is over. The series is over, and they kept persevering and getting through everything. Yamamoto pitching was amazing. By the way, Yamamoto. Brian's at 2.2 innings after winning Game 6. He's in 2 years of being in the major leagues, in the playoffs where he's pitched. He's pitched in 10 games. The Dodgers are 9-1 in those games. 1.45 ERA this year. He's been fantastic. And now I don't know. I don't know. Like, how am I going to face my buddy Shane Bieber next time I see him? I can't even talk to him.
You know,
Talk to him. What do I say?
well, I'm with you. I don't even know. I have friends, my very good friends, from Toronto that live here. I haven't even talked to them. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I haven't talked to them in a week because I don't know how they're processing this. Well, one of the plays, Parlay Kid, that I still can't believe more people aren't talking about. I guess it was because of Game 6, was the ball getting
Yeah.
wedged into the wall, which really was a turning point that, maybe the Blue Jays wrap it up there. Uh, but in a series with so many plays, which is it to you? Because I know there were a ton of moments in Game 7 where Toronto could have won.
Well, obviously that one people have forgotten about by now, but when you really look back on it, it was a genius play by the center fielder just to not even go for it. I mean, he kind of took a chance too, right? Because what if the umps were just like, no, you could easily take that ball out. Like that's
Unbelievable, yeah.
I, but I guess that's must be the actually written rule that if it's stuck, you don't play it. Even though we all know he could have pulled it out easily, just as like if he was picking it up off the ground. But There was a very heads up play. He took a bit of a chance. It paid off. People have forgotten about that because of all the, I wouldn't say controversial plays, but all the maybe questionable moves or base running errors or whatever, however you want to say it. Game 7 was so spectacular that you don't really go back to that play. But obviously, the IKF is taking a little heat with his base running, even though some Major League ball players or former ball players have come out in his defense saying, no, he did the right thing. As a coach, a baseball coach who spent a lot of time on base running,
And
I
you're
would bet
talking about right the lead from
the
third.
the lead.
Right.
Listen,
Yeah.
honestly, again, the batter's got to do a better job hitting in that situation. Got to lift the ball for sure. But at the same time, I just know coaching baseball for all those years. You talk about secondary leads and coming off. It was a very poor job by IKF as he had no momentum going towards the plate as the pitch was coming in. I know the general rule is you're not going to go any further off the base than the third baseman is off the base. So he's about equal distant to third as the third baseman was. But you got a lefty pull hitter who never hits the ball to really the third base side. The chances of getting doubled off on a line drive to third base are slim to none. And all he had to do is you got to come back when that ball is delivered. He's got to get at least a little momentum going to home base. He was caught flat footed when that ball is hit. In fact, if you look at still shots, he was still flat footed when that ball was off the on the grass already,
Right.
off the bat. He was flat footed. He hadn't even broken home yet. So I think that was a support job base running. And then obviously, Brother Bry brought up a great point. Initially, when we were watching the game, we both said it. Like, why with one out were you taking Bichette out, who hit a home run in that game for base running purposes for IKF? Mind-boggling decision right there, too. Knowing that if the Dodgers were to tie this game up, you're going to lose Bichette's bat in the lineup. Bad job there, too. By
Yeah.
the Blue Jays. So
Yeah, that
there's a
was
lot of questionable things,
well.
but
Well, on one side, there were a lot of questionable calls. Dave Roberts in the past has gotten a lot of knocks on him, but
yes,
this time it seemed everything was clicking for him. Other than moving, Mookie down in the batting order, and sometimes it seemed like everything was clicking for Dave Roberts, including positional changes, not
yeah,
taking out Yamamoto. When even I thought, oh my gosh, he's actually going to let Yamamoto go with the bases loaded here, leaving him in.
yep,
You could even talk about uh positional changes that he had, and even bringing in Klein and letting Klein go earlier in the series. So for a guy that takes a lot of heat, I think Dave Roberts, Harry, maybe is
yes,
given a little credit here.
Oh, Dave Roberts, for all the stuff he's taken over the years, winning solves everything. Back-to-back championships.
yep.
He can coach as long as he wants in LA, as long as he wants now.
Yeah, Bry, but we talked about I don't know, maybe the Blue Jays, it's going to be a gut-wrenching few off season for them, and you could maybe they blame the Drake curse. I'm not sure, but I, as far as just painful losses, I don't know. I was thinking back to like maybe it's the Yankees Diamondbacks World Series because
Right.
it kind of felt like that. There were the Yankees were just meant to win that World Series. There were extra inning games. You had every player, stepping up. You had Scott Brocious, but it really is like hard to explain for this one because it was the whole country. You had the Edmonton Oilers. It was on during Connor McDavid's like watching from the bench. So
Yeah.
this really the magnitude of this loss, and a team that hasn't been back since '93. I don't think anything really touches it.
Well, look, Toronto has the Raptors, right? They won it the
Right.
last before a New York team won it, right? The last time New York's been struggling. But yeah, I don't know, as a city, like as a fan base, like, and you know how this, I mean, obviously this Blue Jays roster, you're gonna have Guerrero, right? You're gonna have some of the other pieces. Bichette could be gone. So like when you look at this team, you wouldn't necessarily say, oh, this Blue Jays team is definitely making it back, right? I mean, there's a good chance potentially this
Yeah.
Blue Jays team doesn't even make the playoffs next year, right? It's like it's hard to say for them. So I mean, and again, it's like I mean, you could point to how many things in that series that literally like if there was an inch one more like way, like even that the ground ball when Rojas
Exactly.
was falling down,
I
like if
know.
that ball goes one more foot to the right or the left, it just like he's safe. Like it just
No, it really is. It's
crazy.
inches.
It's
The
crazy.
Rojas throwing the runner out of the plate. The fact that it went to instant replay in my head, I'm like, if they overturn this and the Blue Jays win on an instant replay, I mean, that's if like imagine the Super Bowl coming down to an instant replay
Yeah.
and they call it a catch and
I
you
didn't
win the
want
second.
that. I didn't want
No,
that to happen. I
right.
was like,
Of
they
course
can't
not.
win on. It would be. I don't know. I was like, they can't win on this. And Joel, obviously, too, the catch in center field when the collision was unbelievable. That he was just like, I'm gonna run this guy over. I'm still gonna hold on to the ball. A lot of times you see the fielders shy away from it. He was like willing to take the hit and make the catch because he had to. I mean, he put his body on the line. Great play. I don't know why Kike Hernandez was so shallow in left field on that play. I still didn't understand that. He had to go a long way, but a great play there. Just like Brian said, so many different scenarios that you could look back on, and baseball's back, Joel. It's America's pastime is
It
back.
It was an incredible level of baseball, and the fact that the viewership, even for a team in Canada, it was that high. Game seven averaged almost 26 million viewers, the most since 2017. The game peaked out at 31 million viewers. So Game seven of the NBA Finals earlier this summer drew 16.61 million viewers.
Mm.
So I'll throw it out to you guys. Has baseball, for the time being, surpassed basketball in popularity?
Yes, yes, and kudos to, in my opinion, yes, and kudos to the higher ups in baseball for making some changes that have obviously worked to speed up the game. I'm still not a really big fan of the extra inning format in the regular season, but I guess it's all worked out, and the fans are coming back. Yeah, it's good to see, Joel, because if you grew up in the 70s and into the 80s watching baseball, there was nothing better than baseball. So I'm glad it's at least looks
I'm
like it's
going.
climbing its way back into like a national prominence for
I'm
sure.
back in. I'm planning a road trip with Harry. We're looking for a sponsor. We're gonna go to at
Do it.
least I don't know, four, maybe four ballparks
Oh,
next.
well,
Yeah.
if that's happening, I'm in
Yeah.
too. Let's
Oh,
go.
hey, there were
Can we
some
get a
winners.
sponsor? Let's
You,
go.
There were
you
some
weren't invited.
winners.
You weren't invited.
Oh. There were some winners in Toronto, by the way. A father and son, this is incredible,
Crazy.
caught both of the Dodger historic home run balls. The Miguel Rojas tying home run
Yeah.
and Will Smith's winning home run in the 11th. John Baines and his son Matthew caught both home run balls. I think one of them they had a fake and threw it back in. But that is incredible. If this World Series couldn't be more magical that a father and son caught these two home run balls. I mean, Harry, what do those even go for? I mean, at least a million plus, I would think.
Has to go for a million plus. Man, what are the odds? That's the odds are astronomical, crazy. But yeah, I'd say I can't even put a price tag on it. Don't know.
Amazing.
Amazing. The only thing I've ever caught with you is the flu hanging out with you. So this is amazing. No, hats off to those guys. And yeah, what a season it was. And yeah, any other bets you guys cashed or any bet eggs from this World Series?
Well, I texted you. I was going to chime in when Darren was talking about it, but in Game 6 when that ball was wedged, I bet some individual games, but I don't know. I just got the sense in that game. So what was it? It was 3-1 at the time, right? Wait, what was the score? Three
Yes.
three
Yeah,
one, three
right.
one going into the bottom half of the inning, and I live bet over 4.5 runs, figuring I kind of like Toronto to score a run in this inning. So only time I had done it in this series that type of bet. Um, and I was getting like plus, I forget what I was getting. I was getting plus money at the time, plus 130, maybe plus 140. or maybe even a little higher. And when that ball gets wedged into, as soon as that ball is hit into the gap, I'm just thinking, wow, that
Wow.
was that
Yep.
was that was easy. That was a nice bet. Um, oh no, I'm sorry. It was plus. I totally lied. It was plus 320. That's why it was even worse for me.
Mm.
I was, and yeah, I was thinking I got it. It gets wedged into the wall, and I knew immediately, second and third at that point, I knew immediately I was not winning that bet. I knew those runs were not coming in at that point. Like when you
Well,
bet, have a bet like that, and something weird happens, I just had this feeling like, okay, like I lost this bet. I'm not winning, even though there's no outs.
I guarantee you that wall is getting fixed in the off season, and I guarantee you, whoever is in charge of that, they might be getting a talking to in the front office because who would have thought that is going to be now part of World Series
I
history?
know.